Welcome to Screw the Commute, the entrepreneurial podcast dedicated to getting you out of the car and into the money, with your host, lifelong entrepreneur and multimillionaire, Tom Antion.
Hey everybody, it's Tom here with episode 909 of Screw the Commute podcast. Today we're going to talk about quotations and the ways you can use them and all kinds of good stuff about that. I mean, you can use them in sales letters, speeches, podcast interviews, radio interviews, TV interviews, all kinds of ways you can use quotations, and there's no shortage of them out there. All right, so this is episode 909. Episode 903 to 908 was my whole scam series. It was like 2 weeks worth of ways to keep you safe from getting scammed in all kinds of different ways. Anytime you want to get to a back episode, you go to screwthecommute.com/ then the episode number. All right, make sure you grab a copy of our automation ebook at screwthecommute.com/automate free. Just one of the tips in this book is we estimated has saved me 8 million keystrokes. Just one of the tips in this book. So grab it, screwthecommute.com/automate free, and check out my mentor program at greatinternetmarketingtraining.com. All right, well, I was doing some research for this new upcoming show I have called Highly Educated Idiots, and it's going to be on YouTube and Rumble. And I thought I need to, just part of my research. I already talked to lawyers about it, and part of the research is having material to use. So I was thinking about, I should have a quote of the week about idiots or stupidity or something like that. So I started researching quotations about that. So that's why I'm thinking about this episode right now. When you use a quotation, it always should make the point you're trying to make, or it should be entertaining or funny. But it still should make the point and make sense for where you're putting it in. Now, if you're just a stand-up comedian, that's different. But we're talking about using them in professional settings here. Let's see. So you can use quotations that are either funny or serious, depending on what you're trying to do. And it really does add interest to whatever you're doing. And a big thing about it is you get to play off the credibility of the famous person that did the quote, say. So that's a great thing. Now, what if the person is not generally known, or they are famous in their own right, but maybe in intellectual circles or certain industries? So then what you do is when you say, hey, what so-and-so said, and so-and-so was the Nobel Prize winner for X, Y, and Z, and, for blood work, or whatever it is. So you educate a little bit, makes you sound smarter, okay? Because a lot of times I have to look up who in the heck said that. I never heard of them. So it's a good thing for that. So you get to educate. Now, what if the quotation is unknown? Well, there's no problem using those kinds of things. So what I say in those cases is someone once said, and so I'm saying, I'd be glad to attribute it if it was known who said this. And sometimes you get very similar quotes by different people, so that's one thing that comes up. But I say someone once said, or I make it funny and I exaggerate, say my great-great-grandpappy used to say, if you told that to a mule, he'd kick your brains out, or something like that. Or my old Aunt Maud used to say. So that's a way, if you don't know who said it, you can still use it. Now, I also cover my butt for minor misquotes. So I might say, I believe so-and-so said, or I'm not sure if this is exactly what they said. Because you'll get the English teachers out there or the editors that are going to say, well, that's not exactly what they said. They said a instead of the. Or, something like that. Who cares? So I give myself an out by saying, I believe, or I'm not sure if this is exactly what they said, but so-and-so said this. Let's see. One time I said, I think this is what Albert Einstein said, in case I'm misquoting even the who said it, say. Now, one of my favorites, and I've known this one for a long time. In fact, it's in my Wake 'em Up book, is by Mark Twain. In the first place, God made idiots. This was for practice. Then he made school boards. And I'll tell you what, if you watch YouTube videos of school board meetings, you will totally agree and see how he was quite a futurist in the idiots that are on school boards nowadays. Now, another way to use this is to switch it around and replace school boards with whatever group that you want to rag on. So in the first place, God made idiots. That was for practice. Then he made politicians. And you could then go on to say, well, Mark Twain didn't say it that way, but boy, it sure makes sense for politicians, doesn't it, folks? That kind of stuff. So really take to Quotations. My Wake 'em Up book has tons of them. There's quotation books out there. You can just Google quotations on any field that you can imagine, and there'll be somebody that said something about it. And when you get into it, you'll be able to see certain ones that you can twist around to fit whatever you need, and you use these other outs. I believe it was said, or maybe they didn't mean this, but here's what was said, and you can use them without worrying about it. And a lot of these people are dead anyway. They're never going to complain. All right, so anyway, that's Quotations. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Check out my mentor program, greatinternetmarketingtraining.com, and I will catch you on the next episode. See you later.